Compton, California. That's home. Hence why we got on our West Coast. We West Coast.
I didn't get the memo.
And it's time, because they're not like us. So it's like really important.
Were y'all ever worried that Kendrick was gonna lose?
No.
See that?
I'm gonna shine. Come on and hit me.
I'm gonna hit
You get to know me. East Coast meet West Coast.
My concept is Jeezy, Jesus, and Jay-Z.
I love it.
So,
We sound crazy.
Hey, We Sound Crazy family. We recently had the opportunity to sit down with Candis Grace. Candace used to be known as Miss Diddy. The very next day after our conversation, she made her public announcement that she was changing her name back to her birth name, Candis Grace. We are excited about this conversation. It's one for the books. Shout out to Candis Grace, culture shifter, entertainment mogul. Let's jump into this conversation.
Choke if you do, you have no clue of what me and my homie Snoop Dogg came to do. It's like this and like that and like this and
It's like that and like this and like that and
it's like this.
And we ain't got no. So
let's chill to the next episode.
Nah, you see how that works? You see how that segued right into it?
Welcome to another week of We Sound Crazy. Your boy, Billionaire, is here.
Claude Kelly is absolutely in the building.
What's up, guys? Chuck Harmony is here.
Thank you for making this in the building. What's going on, y'all?
We got beauty in the building.
We got beauty.
We got beauty in the building.
Beauty in the building.
Come on, Cisco.
And beauty is her name.
Yeah,
Phil, but let's make it official. Phil, set it up. Set it up.
She's a longtime friend of mine. Let's start there.
Let's start there.
Absolutely.
Entertainment marketer, cultural shifter, I would say.
Yes.
Entrepreneur, philanthropist. She's the founder of the brand group. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Diddy's in the building. Miss Diddy.
You weren't ready?
Do I have to pay for that? I don't mind, but that was really good.
You get the bill later.
Yes, I'm sure. The billionaire bill.
The billionaire bill.
Hi,
Welcome.
guys. Thank you.
great
You know
to
how
have
happy
you
I'm
here.
here.
I really
so
am.
happy.
I really am happy to have you here because I've known Miss Diddy
A long time.
a long time.
Y'all go back?
Like,
Back.
How
Like
far back?
When I lived in LA, which I've been out of LA 12 years. So let's just start there.
Okay.
That's
So
already-
I knew
that's history.
like we used but it's just I'm so proud and so grateful to still have you in my life. But we're gonna talk about all the amazing things.
Yeah.
Toast to Hollywood, a lot of philanthropy,
There's a lot of stuff.
a lot of big awards that you just recently received and everything. So we're gonna touch
Awards.
on that.
We like awards around
like
here.
awards.
Let's
We
give our
like
flowers
them.
out. Yeah, we like
them.
that.
So take us back to the beginning. Compton, California. That's home. Hence why we got
As
on
you
our
got-
West Coast. We
First
West
of all,
Coast.
I didn't get
it's
the memo.
very,
I didn't
and
get
it's
the memo.
time,
Yes.
because they're not like us. So it's like really important.
Oh yeah.
for
Oh
this
yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
It's very important for this moment.
It's very. I mean, here's the thing. Compton is always up. Like we have great people from Compton. Of course, Kendrick got Anthony Anderson, Serena and Venus, Dr. Dre, of course. I mean, I think like if you look it up, was it Bush or somebody like used to live in Compton? Because like Compton, a lot of people don't understand, but is a very affluent city. We're a farm city. So like that's why it's called the hub city. It's like in the middle of where they would come and do export and import or whatever. But it's have you ever heard of the Compton Cowboys?
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
we grew up with horses
I follow
on the
them. I'm
street.
obsessed.
No,
I'm
they're
obsessed
they're
with, like,
Randy. That's my guy.
Cowboy,
We came up
black
there.
cowboy culture.
No, but it's a real thing. So we grew up with horses, pigs. It's farmland. So we know.
Wow.
Yeah.
As a New Yorker, they don't tell you that on the East
well,
Coast
they don't
at
tell
all.
you that because you know when
They
it
tell you at all.
changed is
Okay.
you know when they because that's deep. That's
Yeah,
too deep, and that's
okay.
not what we was talking about. But you know the epidemics that happen in our inner cities that change our actual city. But Compton has more homes than it has apartments. Like it doesn't. It was an affluent city, and it's also still a charter city, which means we make our own rules because it's a major city. It has over 100,000 residents. So
Wow.
big up to Compton, California.
love
That's
Compton.
why
I
we
just learned
going
a whole
crazy.
lot.
If Kendrick drops something, we going crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, and y'all are going crazy.
No, we're going
In a
crazy.
good way.
We're
In a
acting.
right
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
So,
We're
y'all acting up.
We're taking it. We're taking it.
My old church when I lived in California, it was in Compton.
No way. What church?
Great.
Mine, Grace.
Yeah.
Come on now,
Yeah,
Pastor
yeah.
Michael J.T.
Yeah, yeah.
Fisher.
I
That
went
is
to
my
the South.
You still
pastor.
go?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
that's
my
what's up.
brother. Yeah. I went back home. I went to one church. When Torrey started one early on. Shout out to Torrey, and then I said, I'm gonna go back home.
Ain't it like that home church that?
Yeah.
that
I
makes
used
you
to
feel
go
I'm
to one
grateful.
church. I didn't see you at one church. I used to go there too.
I didn't
Honey,
see
you
you
better
either.
ask.
I didn't see you either. Charles.
You better ask.
Y'all like
You better
that.
ask. I'm talking about the early
Y'all like
formative
that
years.
Spider-Man
No,
meme
that was
where
a
it's
good
just like
church.
everyone
It was
pointing
a
at
I'm
each
talking
other.
about it. I
Oh,
told
y'all.
Torrey to start his Instagram type. Like, hey, so it's time to
wow.
start. Because I grew up in Faithful Central. So I grew up in a mega church. And so Bishop Kenneth C. Omer, my bishop, was already doing all the major things ahead of time that smaller churches were doing. So, I mean, sermons on a CD, you know what I mean? Like back then. So I'm like, Torrey, it's time. We got to do this. Like, yeah.
It's so funny you say that you had to convince him to get on Instagram because that Instagram you said.
Yeah.
Because I think about
He was on Twitter already.
Jordan Sparks was the one who was like, you need to get on social media.
Yeah. Those
She
moments.
set up my Twitter and
Yes.
my Instagram.
I set up
Yes.
Kelly
Okay.
Rowland's, her
See?
Twitter.
See?
Yeah,
Those
that's
moments.
crazy.
Yeah.
She mistakenly tweeted her location. She was trying to DM Lala. Sorry, Kelly. It's public record. It is
So good.
But she
So
was
good.
mistakenly tweet her location.
'Cause I
I'm
was
like,
so
take
good.
it down, take it down.
Now.
Isn't that crazy? That now everyone has it, but someone
Yeah.
has to like
Absolutely.
usher you into
Yeah.
that.
Especially during that time, it was super special. You know what I mean? I remember when Kendrick, but I remember when Drake started his Twitter. We're like, so we follow each other? Like, yeah, okay, that's how you do it. You know what I
That's
mean? Like,
crazy.
it's that time was different for all of us, I think.
So I want to go back to your childhood.
Okay.
When did you know that you didn't? Did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Let me start there.
No, I didn't know what that was. I mean, entrepreneurship is a newer
It's a new-
thing, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So in the last 10, 15 years, give or take, I mean, because you work a corporate job, right? And you are able to retire and you're able to take care of your family and live a great life. And that's kind of like a thing that is almost becoming obsolete, which is scary because when my mom worked in corporate, she wasn't thinking about getting fired. No one's thinking about you work your job for your 20 years, you do your 30-year bid, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You come out on top of the world. So for me, it's funny if you talk to like my parents or my brothers, like I always wanted to like play business stuff. I didn't know it was business. So I wanted to like write checks. Like I would take my mom's old checks and like write checks or play. I was good at math. So I wanted to play with numbers. Like my way of playing was like doing paperwork. It was like as a kid.
I get it. I
You
get
old
it.
kid.
Nah,
You old child.
I just want office supplies.
That's what I'm saying. That was my thing.
I just wanted like
What?
pens and college rule paper and
What?
Oh,
I can see
just
that.
ridiculous. Like I would just stack
Love
up at
pens.
Staples, like
Love
that kind of
pens.
store. Like what?
That
yeah.
would make me happy.
Yeah.
Not even like Kids R Us or something like.
Nah, I
take
want
them to
office
Staples.
supplies.
Me too.
Now I don't. Now everything's on my phone.
A stapler. I love
stapler.
to stay. What? I wanted to staple.
Wouldn't even use it the whole year, but just had them.
No, I had the stapler. I would line it up. Okay. So I didn't
We
know.
had a moment. Don't say we had a moment.
Just because you didn't have a stapler.
I did have a typewriter.
Okay. Oh.
Definitely just age yourself.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
back to your
sorry.
childhood.
Sorry,
you were writing
sorry.
checks or wanted to write checks and had office supplies.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Gosh. Yeah. So then, yeah, I didn't know. I think like, I'm from the inner city and I'm from, a good family technically, but I'm from a broken home. And so, you raise and you go to school and you do what you think you're supposed to do and you kind of just going through the waves of life, and so I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I never was like that, like, I'm going to do this. Because truth be told, I was always good at like doing hair and makeup. Like I'm always do my own makeup. I still do my own makeup, like everything, So I was good at those type of things. I would give myself pedicures and manicures, do my friends' hair and stuff like that. So I probably could have been a beautician. But also in school, I also kind of like the study of law in a way, but I think I just probably like to have conversation and, argue in a way. And so they also thought I was going to be a lawyer. So for me, I just took the natural route of what I thought made sense because I like to do things that make sense and I don't like to gamble too crazy. So I ended up being being good at business, you have to learn it, but it was something I became passionate about.
I'm interested in knowing. I'm coming up in Compton, and you're discovering who you are. Like, what is your musical palette like? Of course, you're
Sure, it's a
from
great
the
question.
West Coast. Like, what albums, artists,
Sure.
songs kind of kept you going in the midst of discovering who you
Right.
eventually became?
So I'm a kid of a musician, and so my family was pretty musical. My father was in a band called New York Port Authority, who was signed to Holland Dozier Holland. So they didn't go all the way, which they could have gone. But like for me as a child, I grew up in the studio with Holland Dozier Holland.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, like laying like
That's legendary.
You guys know Jamil though.
Yeah.
So Jamil's father, which I don't know if you guys know, but he doesn't talk about much. But Jamil's father, Richard, excuse me, was like Holland Dozier Holland's like GM probably. Like I've known him. He's known me since I was literally a baby.
That's
like
crazy.
his whole like. So I grew up with that. My godfather's is also, his name is Leon Santelli of the Meters from New Orleans. So like he's part of really the originator of like funk music, and like he's one of the most sampled guitarists, period. Like you could hear his guitar and you'd be like, oh, that's Leon Santelli. So, as a kid, I was in the House of Blues, like with some red lipstick on, thinking I'm looking 18, like, girl, you are 12, and I grew up around that. And also, gospel music. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my father's grandmother wrote with Mahalia Jackson, and Without God I Can Do Nothing is my great-grandmother's record. Like it's still in the hymn book, So instruments, I would go to, my dad played the trumpet, percussion, I would go to sleep to So music for me is like everything that has to do with my soul, my everything. But of course, growing up around the time that I grew up, of course we had gangster rap, which was important. And it's funny because I just saw Uncle Luke. Dang, that's going from the gospel to Uncle Luke.
I like that.
I just saw Uncle Luke when we were in Vegas, and I was telling him how important the time, even though it was like nasty music, but that dance sound, I feel like it really derived for us, for Uncle Luke during that time as a West Coast kid. We was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Pump the pump, get it. Oh, we dance a little faster. And and then, I say this in conversations with other people, intimate conversations, but the South always can reign in music. And what I mean by that is that the South is so big.
It's big.
See, the West Coast, we have our particular sound, right? That's why, like, when a Roddy Ricch came out, everyone was like, caught on to it because they didn't know it. He sound West Coast, but not really. He kind of sound like the same thing with OT Genesis. I would argue with people. They're like, he's from Atlanta. I'm like, he's from Long Beach. So it's actually not, And so our sound sounds like what people know us to sound like. We very much so rap like the way we talk, right?
That's true.
But the South has so many layers because the South is huge.
That's
a
very
Houston
true.
rapper don't sound like a Louisiana rapper. Don't sound like a Florida rapper.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't sound like a North Carolina rapper. Don't sound like an Atlanta rapper.
You're right.
That's true.
So it's at any time, I always tell people, you can just come in and dominate the whole
That's true.
music
I never
business.
thought about that. That is very true.
Yeah.
That's a great perspective.
That's my whole palette, I think. In totality. Uncle Luke, Jesus Christ.
Uncle Luke and Mahalia.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So, what was the first album you knew back to front?
Ooh.
My concept is Jeezy, Jesus, and Jay-Z.
I love
And
it.
so, I'm gonna give this to, that's not my first one, but I just want to give this to Jeezy. When Jeezy hit the streets, for us in the West, we was like, well, I knew with, if it's taking too long to lock up, bring it back. We was short anyway, so bring it back. And everybody thought it was gonna be Jody Breeze. That was his name, right?
Yeah.
But we was like, wait,
Who's this?
what's this verse?
Yeah.
And so I think that's an album now we definitely play like front to back, but also Trina, Jay-Z, Dynasty. I mean, I know a lot of albums back to back. It's gonna be rap more so than anything.
But you said Jeezy, Jesus, and Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
So
That's
what
my
Jesus
concept.
album you got?
I was about to say, yeah.
I mean, my favorite group of all time period is Maverick City. Let's be clear.
Okay,
Like that's
okay.
just I think it's really important. It's funny, Wardell is here. Clap it up for Wardell, everybody.
Herby
in the
winner.
building.
Yes.
Herby winner.
Yes.
Wardell Malone.
Please, no.
Herby winner.
You guys know, please. So I'm saying that to say, Wody and I we have our date nights, our concert date nights, and we went to one of Kirk's show years ago. And him and I, if anyone knows him or I, we're both passionate people in our ways, and so I'm just passionately talking about the fact that what the heck is gonna happen with these new age kids and not knowing any gospel music?
That's a good
crazy.
question.
What? This is
Yeah.
before Maverick. This is before Maverick City came out. Well, like really came to the forefront. And I was like, what are we gonna do? I was like, I have to do something. I'll do it for free. And Wody, we was having a conversation with Kirk, and Kirk was like, come to Dallas. We're gonna have a think tank. We're gonna figure this out. I'm like, please, Jesus, I gotta figure it out. Because I had I had so many gospel music artists that I could go to, even though, of course, I have secular music that I love. And so the Maverick City coming forth was like, oh, here's the answer.
Yeah.
Choirs,
Here's the
big
answer.
sound.
Unity.
And flyness, because shit
Flyness.
gonna get
it's swaggy.
dressed.
Yeah.
Swaggy. Yeah.
And that's something we hadn't seen before in our generation. And I'm so proud of that, of Maverick City for that. And what everything it represents, and like tackling this culture with still like a real praise and worship sound and like gospel music. So that's my favorite group.
That's the Jesus. What's the Jay-Z?
Jay-Z for me, Dynasty album. The Dynasty, it just coming. The Dynasty album for me. Love the Blueprints, of course, but also American Gangsta. I really love the feel of that album.
Yeah.
I feel like people liked it and loved it, but I think it got slept on for the way it felt.
Yeah.
Like, that's my
You don't really
album.
have a bad album.
People hate the Black album. Sorry, Jay. I didn't mean like that.
I don't.
They dislike it. I like it.
Yeah.
Who?
No,
There's a lot of people
Yeah, right.
who don't really
The
feel
Black
that.
album?
Yeah, the Black on people
That's
like
one of my
said they
favorite
didn't
Jay-Z
like.
albums.
I
just revisited 444 and I was like,
444 is so good. Yeah. So good.
did we move on too fast?
Did we move on too fast?
He was talking about
We
some
did.
things.
No, we did. And we moved on too fast from Solange's album, but keep going.
Which one? The last one?
Yeah. Well, no.
Seat at the table.
Seat at the table.
Yeah.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah.
Well, people don't like to think.
That's it.
And I just feel like the albums that we're talking about requires you to actually sit your ass down
Interesting.
Yeah.
and listen to the shit.
And feel something.
Yeah.
Do you think it's that people don't like to think, or do you think we just not giving them what they need to start?
No, people don't like to think.
Yeah.
It's
I think people don't even
stupid.
think.
People don't like to think, and then a lot of time the gatekeepers at a lot of these labels and publishers, when something is working, that's kind of what I consider fast food. It's like, oh, well, they like this.
Yeah.
Let's give them more of this instead of like,
Crazy.
It's Fashion
actual-
Nova instead of actually designing something.
We sound crazy.
And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch?
K-Dot.
K-Dot,
K-Dot.
Compton's
King
own.
Kendrick.
Were y'all
Kendrick.
ever worried that Kendrick was gonna lose?
No.
No.
See that? Huh? Because some people.
No. I mean, just from my point of view, when Drake first dropped those two, and everybody's like, "Yo, Kendrick ain't gonna respond. Kendrick ain't gonna respond."
But we know Kendrick. We know to leave him alone.
I never
When it
seen,
comes to, but right.
Yeah, I've never seen him in a rap beat.
First of all, Kendrick's a Gemini. Just
Leave him alone.
leave him alone.
For me, that record made me, because before Not Like Us, I wasn't really paying attention to
Sure.
the thing. And when I heard that,
That-
I was just like, let me go back and
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck going on. Like,
Here's
like I listened to all the things. I was like,
I did
yeah,
too.
Kendrick got it.
Well, here's the thing too, like creativity, being clever, the people around you being clever as well is what's going to help things when you're in the middle of these things. Because if we're sitting around, right, and all of us got some stupid ideas, and you're like, yeah, go with that idea, and it's dumb, and nobody's like clever and like lit, then you're gonna look like other people that have lost their battles. But Kendrick, he's too smart, he's too clever, and it's like he kept telling them like, say Drake, you sure?
Sure, right.
I don't want to
That's why Cole
do
was
this.
like, I'm gonna go ahead and just bow out now.
And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love.
By the way, shout out to Cole. I don't like that people made that all, it's rap, and it's about rap, and why did Cole do that? It's like, bro, yeah, that's cool, but that's also his friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, I had an emotional moment. I don't want to do that with you.
Yeah.
That's honorable.
Yeah.
I agree.
I respect Cole for that.
I
Yeah.
respect him too, especially when we saw When It Went. I'm like,
Okay.
I would have bowed out too.
But the memes are hilarious because everyone. The memes are
Yo, the
cold.
meme that never
memes are
stopped. I spend most time laughing at the memes about the thing. What I love
Internet is
I love
great.
about it is that there's so much noise, especially in the music industry, and there's so much debate about who's great, who's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then every now and then, that person that's truly, and this is not taking anything from Drake because
Please,
he's dope
can't.
too, but
Cannot.
that person that's truly blessed and gifted gets pressured or you poke the bear.
Yeah.
And it's any kind of artist, but and then you get reminded that like there are a few people here that are really about that life for real,
What?
for real. It's just next level.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And then every night you got to separate the mice from the men. Every now and then.
Well,
But
much like you said, you were like, oh, okay, I'm not
Right.
sure if Kendrick's gonna, but that's why I said sometimes
Pulitzer
you gotta pop out and
Prize
show
winning.
niggas.
Pulitzer Prize winning Kendrick
But
Lamar.
what I love about this battle is that it actually introduced AI to the mainstream.
Yeah.
Like people are when people are singing that BBL
BBL
Drizzy,
Drizzy?
they singing AI. They don't even know it.
Really?
Yeah, that's an
I
AI
don't
thing.
like it. I feel it's
But
too far
now it's out
advanced.
there.
I'm not ready.
Not ready.
It's out there now.
It's there now.
They got
I
the
mean-
people singing it. It's a done deal now.
Yeah.
So okay, explain to me what happened. I'm not good at technology. I can send an
Okay.
invoice and send an email. That's it.
So AI for music is essentially this. Like there are several of them. There are programs. You can type in prompts of what you want. So you could say, I want Isaac Hayes 70s vibe of a song, but I want it to be a woman that sounds like Aretha Franklin. I can even go as far as here are the literal lyrics I want them to say.
Yep.
I want to be in this key, this tempo, with this long, to a T. And then a couple seconds, it spits it back to you. So
But it spits out like 6 or 7
options
things.
of
why is that
same thing.
okay?
it's
I don't know
debatable.
that it's okay.
Stress.
It's
I don't know
debatable.
that it's okay, but it's here. And the only thing that I
Yeah.
can think of is that creators like us got to use it as a tool.
Yeah. What I know for sure from the mistakes that the music industry has made, entertainment, but definitely music, is that we'll spend 2-3 years debating whether it's a good thing or not.
Yeah.
Wow, and not
Until
just yeah.
someone else jumps on the platform.
Great point.
Where we are right now with technology is because the music industry, this is my opinion, is that the music industry wasn't forward thinking with how to distribute their own music. So then the tech companies take it over. And now we're a slave to Apple. And we're using them, but
labels had
they
an
control our music.
They had an opportunity to get in early on iTunes.
Absolutely.
And should have taken advantage of that. But,
And streaming and Napster and all that stuff back in the day, we fought it till it was too late. And so technically, I don't think it would happen, but technically as we are right now, if Apple decides tomorrow, we're out of the music business, then there goes all of our catalog, all your favorite music, your whole library. Like, because we don't control the library that has the music. So in this case, just to mirror that, I feel like to learn from your mistakes, let's accept right now that it's out there and it's a tool.
Yeah.
And talk about business-wise how we can control it
yeah.
and get paid for it and all
Yeah.
those things, so that we're not still trying to beg Congress 10
Sure.
years later, like, please value us. We promise. I know.
We promise.
We promise. We'll work together. It's too late at that point.
Yeah, all that back and forth in '99 about Napster, and I feel like the music industry is still kind of dealing with the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
It also takes a while to
Yeah.
legally. It takes a while to convince
Sure.
those in office that this is even an issue.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves to party, and everyone is partying, but no one's concerned about how the party
Business
music is
part.
happening.
Yeah.
And so we're still lobbying in Congress every year to convince them that you still got Smokey Robinson on there. Like, listen, I know y'all love My Girl, and I know
It's
y'all
good old
love
Smokey.
Tears of a Clown, but we need more money for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's taking that long to convince them we're valuable. So this could change it even more. Let's be responsible this time about it.
I want to quit it all.
I don't have the answer, but that's just
That's so good. There's so much for me to
catching just
unpack.
like the patterns of how we made mistakes before.
Yeah, sure.
From platform to platform.
We need you at the Congress.
We've all been down there before,
yeah.
but it's harder than you think.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I assume.
You got to go to Congress. We got to go out. We've been there with the keyboards and guitars, singing songs in their faces. And even then, it's like, wow, you guys are talented.
You guys are so talented.
How lovely. Thank you for coming and singing.
Yeah, thank you for coming and singing.
Beautiful song. And then like, what's for lunch?
Yeah.
Because teaching people the value of music takes a long time, which is why music should be in school so you know it's valuable at the very beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Toast to Black Hollywood.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
An amazing event.
Thank you.
What made you create the event, first of all?
You know what? I literally created this event before everybody started doing honor moments. It was really like 10 years ago, probably at this point. And I was thinking about the fact that I've always been like a girl that always been like a hybrid, right? So like I've always been like talent, but I'm a business person. Like always have been a business person at heart first. My personality is just the type of person I was like, and I'm cool with everybody, that type of thing. So I just know that there are certain people in my career that were intricate, just in a place of like John Monopoly. I always bring up Monop, Steve Rifkin, Kenny Burns, you know, Mona Scott Young. There are people that I feel had pieces in my career that helped, and I wanted to find a way peer to peer for us to say, yo, I really F with what you doing. You killing it. I love you. You're killing it. This is dope. And me being, of course, a girl from LA and doing all that I've done in nightlife in Hollywood and LA, I felt like it was just the next level too. So this was, years ago. And it was also, it's outside of the four walls of like the Grammys or BET Awards or those type of big moments. But I was like, no, we got to have like a peer-to-peer moment, right? Because to get, now BET Awards and Grammys and stuff, they're a little more open to different type of awards. But before, you really had to be a Drake or whatever the case may be, right? And so that's really where it derived from, because I knew all the U's of the world. You know what I mean? Like that were to me as influential, as impactful, and as important as a Kendrick Lamar and this type of person. So that's where my heart of it came from. And I wanted to kind of bridge the gaps of like, I always knew like old heads and young, I was like always in the middle. And a lot of those two don't mix.
Yeah.
And I felt like I could create a room where that happens.
It's such a great room.
Thank you.
Calling it an event doesn't do it justice. It's literally an experience. To me. And because you have the more mature crowd, you have the younger crowd. But also the attention to detail. Like there's cigar rooms, there's like different types of rooms and pockets and lounges. It's unlike anything I've ever attended.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go.
It's giving please. Please come. More than welcome.
Please, Miss Diddy, I sure would come on to the
walk them right in.
But everybody's dressed like fly.
Yeah.
It's just excellence and around the room, and you meet so many different people.
Yeah.
From tech people to entrepreneurs to C-suite executives. And music. It's such a it's an incredible room.
It's usually doing BET Awards.
BET Awards weekend, It's an intentional room too for me because also say my Fields or Wardell or even you, like y'all not gonna be out in certain places.
We're definitely not.
People can't get to y'all like that, and it's like I feel like for me, y'all will come. So then it's like now y'all are forced to be even in rooms where you're having these conversations that you probably wouldn't even really have while you're out.
Thank you for that, actually.
And that's necessary for creators.
For us.
For people like us.
But that's what I'm saying, because those are my friends that I have intimate time with, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, bring your, come on. And they're like, we're just coming for you, Diddy. I'm like, no, come, But much to what you're saying, I appreciate you saying that, because I think that that's overlooked sometimes as a young Black girl doing business, sitting outside of a building. Like, I'm not such and such, that's the VP of Apple and that works at Spot. Like, no, I'm sitting outside of a building as an entrepreneur and doing these massive amounts of events and things that couldn't bring out, even if I did work over there, these caliber of people and attention to detail. between my Ciroc, De Leon,
And
EXO,
I think I was in the
Douce
Doritos
experience.
section. It was all types of
Really?
oh yeah, it's all the
Wow.
brands. And
Yeah.
it's impressive to me just
Thank you.
being a young Black woman. Like, how has that been dealing with? Because you deal with a lot of the brands and just the obstacles. I can only imagine.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
It's tough, and I think the tough part is, right, like in business, especially again growing up the way I grew up, no one sat and said, hey, when you start to do business at this level,
Yeah.
this is how it looks, this
Yeah.
is what you need to do, this is what you don't need to do, this is what you don't need to say, this is what you need to say, this is how you email this is how does that show up, you know?
Being the first.
Yeah,
It ain't
because
easy.
I'm a Black girl from the hood, for
Yeah.
real. Like, I'm not from the hood, like, but I grew up in inner city. I did not graduate from college. You know what I mean? I said my same homegirls, my same friends, and a lot of my friends that I grew up, they're executives and companies and things like that. But my journey is totally different than, say, my friends that work at Johnson & Johnson or whatever, because they went to college, they graduated and they went there, right?
Yeah.
The mind is figuring out every component, and it's really God allowing things to move in the right way, and me saying, all right, God, you got to show me how to handle this, because it may be something that comes up in business, right? That's tough. And I have to sit back and be like, all right, what is that response look like? Because what does that feel like on their side once
Right.
they receive it, right? Because I have a pretty assertive personality. So now I have to balance what that feels like, you know, what it feels like to somebody else. It couldn't, emails is crazy, you know, it could mean something different, you know? And so I've been really blessed to be able to work with a lot of top tier brands that have been the us's working in there. So they're always inspired by my journey. They're like, I want to be an entrepreneur. No. Sit in your seat, because I don't have a chance if a you is not in that building.
Yeah.
I have no chance. They don't know who I am. They don't see my work. They have no clue that I'm the person moving the shit. They're not even paying attention. They're at their job doing this, and they have no attention and no alliance with the culture.
Yeah.
But a you in a Pepsi building does, you know?
Yeah.
So like Kim Scott is over at Pepsi, and like Christina, and like these are girls that are like, you know, we're around the same age. They love me. They follow my work, you know? They're like, nah, we need to make sure you got what you need over here. So it's tough to navigate though.
What mentally prepared you for such a dynamic journey?
Ask God calling me and me saying yes. It's not anything else. If you grab it, I have to grab it. But no, it honestly is. And Teray, like that time at one church, like the beginning part. No, not saying it like that, but yeah, still. That part was very important. He was pushing us in a way that I hadn't seen happen in any church before.
Okay.
Never. And he was very serious about figuring out your purpose. Snot it out, cry it out, figure it. Don't leave from this worship place right here until you figure that piece out. And so I give him a lot of credit, not him, but the God in him and him bringing that word forth, because that's what made me quit corporate. That's what made me, you know, go out on faith and believe and go through all the emotions of that journey. Yeah.
You know what? To build the kind of spaces or to curate the spaces that you've been able to curate and invite super huge entities, people into those spaces and make them feel comfortable, there has to be a certain level of, you know, relatability. And you have to make those people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I want to know from you, like, what is your philosophy when it comes to relationship building and just making people feel like, okay, I can rock with her. Like, whatever she's doing, I want to be a part of it.
I think that people forget that sincerely just being who you are,
Yeah.
whatever that
Goes
is.
a long way.
It does.
It
And we're
does.
all trying to figure out who we are, right? Like in the midst of knowing who we are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But literally just being who you are, that either you're going to rock with it or you're not. I'm a hometown girl. I'm a round the way girl. I take care of my people. If you in LA and we locked in, I'm gonna take care of you. I don't care. That's how we are. You know what I mean? And I think that's what people want. They want to feel genuineness. You know, and I don't know. It's taxing for me because I do know a lot of people and I share in intimacy and spaces with a lot of people because I'm not like a really surface level person. So like if we're friends and we're locked in, like if you tell me something's going on, I'm now like okay, what do we need to do? What's going on? Like you know, and it's taxing, you know, but I think that it's important that people feel genuineness in this world while we're going through, I mean, massive amounts of ridiculousness.
Crazy that you say that because to see like videos of you like talking to K. Michelle or talking to Latoya Luckett and like having those in-depth conversations, I'm like, it's something about her that they feel comfortable with, and they confide in her and trust that she's going to.
And that's a gift. I don't play with my trust though.
Yeah.
Like I'm a Volt. That's what people know. Like I do not play with being trustworthy. Yeah. I will die about that. You know, like that's not something that's ever going to be said. Like you tell me something, you trust me with something, baby, you could bet your bottom dollar, your grandmama bottom dollar.
Yep.
You know, and that has to do with who I choose to be in life. That don't got nothing to do with you, who you are, what your position. I don't care about none of that. I'm like that with my homegirls as I'm going to drive back home and go see. And I'm like that with the highest of a person that I know. Yeah. So I'm grateful to God that people actually see that in me to feel that. But I take that so serious.
I can vouch for that. I remember, and there was a mutual friend of ours that's a celebrity that was in the hospital years ago. I'll leave them nameless.
Dang, that's
but
crazy.
I remember you being at Cedars-Sinai. That never made. I mean, I can list other examples, but what she's saying is real. Like it's literally a boss.
And it never went. You're right, because that never even got out. That's crazy. That's right.
Integrity.
And that was during the time.
Yes, that's.
Yeah. And I was the like emergency person on the
That's also what leads to longevity.
Yep. Sure.
I mean, I think we all can attest to that being a safe space for other people that are like you or that you're just in close proximity to is the real relationship building. You know, people always ask,
absolutely,
like, how do I get in the business? How do I become a brand ambassador? I'm like, get to know people and treat people well and be real in the moment with people.
Yeah.
And do it while no one is watching.
No one's watching.
Yeah.
Whether they know it or not.
And then be a Vault.
And then be a Vault.
Because it's like the studio. Like people come to the studio, they sit down and they spill the beans because you have to get great music. But you also have to know that like it's not gonna leave here.
That's it.
The mistakes, the truths are not gonna leave here. But then you get lifelong friends.
Yeah.
I
mean, we all been through too much to be sitting in front of you and be like, oh, you about to just tell the world. I just told you, bro. Like, what?
Right.
Like, you thought that was cool to tell everybody. That's ridiculous.
But it bugs me out about social media now.
I hate it. Don't even.
The idea that, like,
the screenshotting
DMs and screenshotting your texts. And I remember when you said this, and here's the photo you sent. Whether it's like salacious or just some friendly stuff. Like, I don't get that breaking of the code.
There ain't no code.
Ain't no code
no more. It's crazy.
But you got to realize there's a certain group of people that all they know is that
they never grew up.
Yeah,
they never grew
they're
up
young. They can't grow up in that time.
We sound crazy.
Where the stash at? Cruise the city in a bulletproof Cadillac. Cause I know these niggas out there where the bag at. Gotta move smarter. Gotta move harder.
So Miss Diddy, recently Black Enterprise awarded you. Gave you a big award for the 2024 Disruptor Summit.
Come on, Disruptor.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
How did that feel? I mean, that's huge.
You know, I told them, the CEO called me and he told me, you know, we want to give you this award. Butch, shout out to Butch, freaking legend. And also, you know, like Butch is the CEO of Black Enterprise, but it was his father's company, right? And so the legacy of Black Enterprise, you know, I said this, like, I wanted to do business as a little girl. So a Black Enterprise to me means so much more than a lot of other publications because it's specific for that, right? And the Black person that is enterprising and doing business and things like that. And so anytime that someone recognizes what you build, because I believe you build it, they'll come. Like, even though it seems like my career is kind of loud, I'm really not. I'm a super private person, and I'm about to do this, girl. I'm not like that. It's like, I did it. Oh, you seen it? Oh, I'm so happy that you saw it because I'm a real worker. I keep my head down. I'm like, I'm going to work. So being recognized by Black Enterprise with the Disruptor Award is like, especially at this time in my career, it's beyond. I feel like it said something. You know, and I'm grateful. I've had a lot of good moments in my career. My mayor has given me awards, like all kind of things. But this is one of those things where I'm extremely proud. I'm trying to learn to be proud of myself because I don't think that I've had the luxury and space to be able to feel that.
Most people don't talk about that. It's a process to be proud of yourself, even when you're doing great stuff.
Even when you're doing great stuff. Even when people see you're doing great stuff.
Especially when you're doing great stuff, because it's almost like you feel bad leaning in.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's not even focus on this. But you got to celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
He always tells me that. Tomorrow, celebrate your wins.
Yeah. It's hard though because it also becomes a time, right, where you're in survival mode for such a long time. Right. And then whatever that shift is that you're no longer in survival mode, but you're actually thriving and you're working out your things. I'm not saying you don't have all the mountains that come, but no one tells you what that point is. You have to literally figure that out in yourself. Like, oh wait, I'm not in that mode anymore. Like, you sure? Like,
yeah.
For sure. I don't want to.
And generation to your point. Sometimes you're the first person experiencing this level of success and pressure and responsibility and leadership, and so you're learning on the job how to handle. Do I take a vacation? Do I deserve a vacation?
Do I deserve?
Yeah. Do I deserve a vacation? Usually the answer is yes.
Yeah. Well, the answer is yes.
Always. The answer is always yes.
Always.
Whether you take it or not, but it's you're learning on the job.
Yeah. And family stuff. You're like, oh, if I take a vacation and so-and-so that said they need some money, gonna see me out at the spot. Like, it's all of those moments. Right. It's that.
For Black entrepreneurs especially.
Oh my God. Especially for family. And it's like, at what cost? You know, like, I'm the one that comes to the family thing, and I got a cousin talking about I didn't hit her back. Hit her back from 2011 on Facebook. I'm like, girl,
I'm still getting demos.
No, I get demos too. I'm like, what y'all want me to do?
I'm like,
demos, TV show pitches.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
I don't check them socials. That's not. I'm not on Facebook.
And then it's so you don't check your. Oh, okay.
So you too good to.
Yeah. Oh, you too busy. That's like okay.
But that in itself is something to have to navigate. It requires energy.
And grace.
And grace.
Grace. Well, grace on yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And that's a hard thing to learn.
Yeah. There's no school for that.
No, because I'm hard on myself.
Me too.
And I've had to tell myself, as I tell my friends, be gentle on yourself. Be gentle on yourself. Be gentle on yourself. Like I have to remind myself that.
I got a little chill when you were saying at the beginning about Black Enterprise, because first of all, shout out Black Enterprise.
Shout out Black Enterprise. And to still be thriving.
Yes, because my whole life, it's that magazine you see on the table.
Yep.
It's that table magazine.
and before it became popular to talk about entrepreneurship, whether you read through the whole thing or not, you just knew like, oh, I can be a Black business person because that thing is set on the table.
Absolutely.
Right? So shout them out.
True.
I agree. I remember in college when I was pledging Kappa Alpha Psi, that was one of the gifts they gave. Like it was a 1-year subscription to Black Enterprise.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, in college.
That's actually really powerful.
Yeah.
That is.
And shout out to all the
They stopped
all the D9. All the D9.
I love it.
I think they stopped it by the time I came through.
Subscription. Did I age myself again?
Subscription.
You didn't get no subscription?
Your
Come
subscription.
I ain't get no subscription.
Yeah.
But Diddy, I want to talk about your charity foundation, Brown Girl Lux.
Thank you.
So what's that?
Brown Girl Lux came from, so now a couple years ago, do you guys know what fibroids are, uterine fibroids?
Yeah.
But it's interesting, a lot of men don't know women's bodies, which is, y'all think y'all be knowing what's going on, but it's like, y'all don't. And so it's funny because through this journey, it's like my company follows this page called Roe versus Bros, I think. And like, it's this girl that's on the street asking men like, so what is a uterus? And they're like, on the side. Well, where is a uterus? Oh, on the elbow, or like, the
elbow.
Like, it's like how many days are a period? Yeah, like
What?
exactly. It's like but you'd be surprised. Like they don't know. Like how many weeks is the pregnancy? Oh, 72. Like, all right, cool.
A whole year plus.
Yeah.
A whole year plus.
I'm telling you, it's like, or like, what does a man have a cervix or something? They're like, yeah, of course.
We got two of them.
Didn't
We
pay
have
attention
two
to
of
sex
them
ed.
at all. And so I say that, but I had, uterine fibroid. I had my surgery to remove that. It's called a myomectomy, one of the surgeries. And so through that process, I really learned what's tough for me as a young Black woman doing business is that I was scared to even say I was about to have surgery because I didn't know how long I was going to be out. I had no clue what the recovery was going to be. I didn't want to look like I wasn't available for an opportunity to do business. I need to look available.
Or just look weak.
Or look weak. It's a real feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or not able, you know? And so I had a very tough time emotionally with it leading into the surgery. I literally worked up to 2 days before the surgery, but my mental was not, my anxiety level was high. It was all of these things. I'm like, all right, I got to get all these things done before, you know? And I had the surgery and it was a very, very, very tough recovery. And what I learned, I talked to a couple women before, but a lot of, it's just now becoming a topic that women are having. It hasn't been talked about for all this time. So there's a lot of Black and brown women battling and struggling with this and dealing with this. I'm sure if y'all talk to y'all moms, your grandmas, your aunts, most of them are dealing with, or battled it, or had a hysterectomy, or had a, because that's the first thing they tell Black women is to have a hysterectomy. Well, of course, you guys don't want us to have children.
Right.
And so, you know, they're giving Black women hysterectomies at the age of 30 something. Like, that's ridiculous.
Crazy.
They don't even have kids. What are you doing, you know? And so there's so much I learned through the process. I learned how much you have to advocate for yourself in healthcare as a Black or brown person. Because when I walked in and I look like this, they're like, oh, you look fine, healthy, you work out all the time. Shouldn't be anything, you should be good, right? I'm like, yeah, but I've been in the hospital a couple times behind this. What do you mean I'm fine? Like, okay. And you're trusting what they're saying. And it's like, oh, I'm back in the hospital, because I would have, not only did I have fibroids, I had cysts. So I would have what's called ovarian cyst rupture. So I would have cysts on my ovaries and they would rupture. And they compare the pain to childbirth. Like the ambulance would have to come to pick me up every time. It's like, it's so bad. And so even after that, they'd be like, oh yeah, you look great. Still working out, everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm still working out, but okay, it doesn't seem right. Until one of my dear friends, her name is Candace, actually. She's a big influencer on Instagram, and she talks a lot about her journey with PCOS, which is a whole nother side, which they don't test us for, which they should, whole nother thing. But her OBGYN, her name is Dr. Tyus Aliabadi, and she is freaking incredible. Hella expensive. You got all my money, Tyus. But very effective. She's like, literally all the Kardashian kids birthed them, Rihanna's kids, everything. But she's a great physician. And I walked in with her and I was like, well, I've been over, my doctors have told me. She looked, she said, oh, you got surgery. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. She's you got to get this out of you. It's poison. Like, you're gonna get inferred. Like, this is not, you got to literally get this out of you. I'm like, huh? And even my doctor's like, oh, yeah, about 4 or 5 fibroids. I had like 20 something. Like, I can't even show. It's ridiculous, you know? But with that, it's a lot of context, but I wanted to say that because there's so many Black and brown women that are dealing with this silently. Silently. Like, my friend Shayla Cohen, you know Shayla. She's the one who made me get the surgery. Wow. She had like a 2-hour conversation with me. She said, hey, listen, the work's gonna be there. The people are gonna, life is gonna be, you need to go do this right now. I'm like, but dude, she's like, I don't care. Go. She's what made me make the decision to actually go have the surgery at that time. And what I will say is any woman going through that too, on the other side. So like that, I was dealing with my contract with Pepsi and like getting all those ducks in a row. And it was 3 Black women over at Pepsi I freaking love. Jess just left, but Kim and Christina, the ones I was talking about. And I was like, okay, guys, I gotta tell you something. Like, I'm about to have surgery. They was like, okay, sis, what do you need? All good. We'll make sure this is da-da-da-da. And I was like, you know, it let so much off of me. And they were so incredible to me during the time. That's like, awesome. They were just like, sent me big old flowers. They like, this gonna be here. We gonna set it up. You'll have everything you need, blah, blah, blah. We know you know. And that's why I started the foundation, because I wanted a support side of things for women. Also, like, we post a lot of things that have to do with just wellness, right? So like, I love yoga, eating right, certain foods, all that type of stuff. So all together, not the things that will help the full journey of someone having fibroids.
That's so
I love it.
Yeah.
And so where can we find more information on Brown Girl Lux?
Brown Girl Lux. No, I'm kidding. The website and Instagram at Brown Girl Lux.
Okay.
LUX.
We'll make sure to also provide all the information on
Thank
screen and on
you.
the website
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Thank you.
Health is a big deal. Like I feel like
Huge.
I got a little bit of a blessing in life because my whole family are nurses. And I
Wow.
was a single parent, my mom. So I literally sat when I was just like playing.
Yeah.
You hear all the black ladies just talking that real about what's really happening in the hospital. Because the black nurses, they know what's up.
Oh, they know what's up.
They're like, don't take this. The doctor don't know this. They were healing each other. So I just knew from the side conversations that how important it was to be an independent researcher about your health because they were. I'm like, but you in there and you're talking like it's crazy. So now I'm.
You know.
Yeah. So the personal education is key.
Extremely important. And like I said, I've had family members impacted by fibroids and cysts, so I've dealt with it up close and personal, and just
Same.
But just knowing and just getting the checkups and just paying attention, listening to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And advocating for
And
yourself.
advocating for
They're not
yourself.
going to do it.
We sound crazy.
I'm gonna shine. Come on and envy me. I'm so hit you get to know me. East Coast meet West Coast.
Right.
So good.
You met.
All right, so Miss Diddy, right here, we sound crazy. We do a fun game
Okay.
called word or phrase association. You know, so we'll throw a word, a phrase, or some type of subject, name, topic, and just say whatever the first word or sentence that comes to mind.
Ooh, I'm crazy.
No right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Compton, California.
Trying to be all intricate. It goes to Kendrick. They not like us.
They're not like us, all right?
Toast to Black Hollywood.
Black excellence.
Kanye West.
Workout plan.
Workout plan.
Boule Queen.
Kenny Burns.
Oh, ATL shot. Well, DC, but okay, wait. Just fly.
Yeah.
Fly.
Maverick City.
I was gonna say Norman, but actually impactful.
Faith.
Evans.
Quick.
That was the quickest one I
Enough
had.
said.
Ooh,
I was talking about your
said.
person, your spirit.
I know, but still, is it not aligned?
Like I
Is
said,
it not
Evans.
aligned,
It's not
Evans?
Like I said.
Is it not aligned?
She's like, as soon as I get home.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Entrepreneurship.
Black enterprise.
The Chronic.
Just legendary.
Corporate America.
Important. Important.
The future.
Is me.
Talking about.
Or future Hendrix. It can go
Either way.
Oh, we are in Atlanta.
Music.
No, I'm sorry. I'm about to say Soul Child.
Now you want to roll.
Yeah. Music. Life is life.
Yeah.
Real life.
Jay-Z.
Jeezy and Jay. No.
The three J's.
Right. Man, the king. The king. Yeah.
One word to describe Miss Diddy.
Trying.
I love that.
Just trying.
I love it. Yeah.
That's so real.
Yeah.
Every day. Just trying. That's a
just
word.
Trying. Okay.
That's a word.
Make some noise. Word association, Miss Diddy against you.
That's good.
That's good.
If Miss Diddy had a theme song, what would that song be?
Oh,
So good.
that's such a good. I feel like it's like a Foxy Cleopatra type of song, like a like a Pam Welfare.
You're giving me to live and die in LA vibes.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm so West Coast. Oh my God, I'm so West
Yeah,
Coast.
it's just-
I
it's
really
just-
am.
Oh, please to me. That's the vibe.
R.I.P. Jewel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's soulful. It's hip hop. It's funky.
So
it's,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can talk about how good our music is.
You see what I'm saying?
Thank you.
It's great.
It's
I'm
very
not gonna lie to you.
important.
It's not gonna lie to you.
What's in the future, Diddy? I don't know. What's next? I know you got your whole, I feel like the next 5-10 years of mapped
You know what?
out.
I'm not like that.
Really?
Oh no.
Me neither.
I'm not like planned and like here's my goals and I've never done a vision board.
Really?
I'm like,
Wow.
no. I've never wrote a business plan. No. Feels it.
No, it's interesting to hear because there's so many ways to do this.
There's so many ways.
And everyone's
I've
like, do
never
business
graduated from college doing what I do. And I have people and young women that are like, I went to college to do what you do. And I'm just like, wow, that's like,
you're like,
really?
What is that?
Yeah, you're like, actually, you can drop out. No, I'm just kidding. I love higher
What
education.
I've noticed though, a lot of people who didn't go to school,
Hustle.
and I went to college, so
I believe in higher education.
But people who didn't go to school, there's a certain hustle that they have.
Had to.
And they don't necessarily rely on I got a degree. I got, so.
But here's the thing too. I just didn't really have too much of a choice.
Yeah.
You know, like my mom left and went on to live her life by the time I was 17. So I had to really figure it out. And so I, like in the most perfect world, I would have went to an HBCU. I'm an HBCU girl. I'm a Delta. I'm an AKA. I'm one of those girls that went to HBCU, really killed it, and like is a part of this.
I could totally see
this,
that.
You know what I mean? Like 100%. But here's the thing too. I grew up in LA. We're not a college town.
Yes.
We have UCLA, we have USC and we have Cal States, and people come there to go, but like we're not a HBCU. Like you are going to a HBCU, a college. I didn't grow up in a home like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I do wish, I mean, but in hindsight, it all worked out, but still, so I would have, but I didn't have the luxury in life early on to say, here's an option I want to do. I really had to just get to it.
Yeah.
And luckily and grateful, and that's why I love God so much. Not that I'm perfect or anything like that, but I love God because that's my relationship that I had to rely upon to get through life and to make the right decisions and to do the best I can, in life. Because it could have went left. Yeah. I got friends that went left.
Wait, so how do y'all feel about college now? Because now it's like there's definitely a debate of do you need it the way you needed it before.
I do think the whole idea of going to school for 4 years and spending all this money to get a piece of paper, and people are going out here, they having to go to Marshalls and get a damn job.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think that whole...
The American dream is...
Because we were taught,
like,
if you don't, especially for those of us who are the different world generation.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, you better...
Yeah.
And if not, then that's a mark on your record.
Yeah,
right?
And in the family. You
but even how you talk about yourself, right? We talk about, but I didn't go to college. Like we all do that. Or I didn't. Because it was like, if you didn't, that's something you have to apologize for a little bit. I'm not sure you have to apologize for it that way.
Not anymore.
College isn't for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
I went to school. I believe in higher education. I graduated. Shout out to Norfolk State. Yeah. But the reality is, I was in the business when I was in college.
Yeah.
So it was great for me to understand, networking, working with others on projects. So there was some value, a lot of value that I acquired, but I was literally working at that time in the music business.
And there are certain areas of expertise where you need to go to school.
Yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah,
I
like my doctor, my lawyer, I need
my doctor, my
dentist.
We hope you go to school for
but
that.
Please.
I've all, and no diss to, but like if you're going to school for art, like you're spending $50,000 a year.
I learned the hard way.
Like
me too.
And I love Berkeley.
Same
but
here.
Berkeley's a great school.
I graduated from Berkeley, but the times have changed in lots of ways about how you get through the... I will say being from Compton, like being from New York City, is university.
No.
Like if you make it in LA and New York, then you have a different sensibility. But more than even the classes, moving away from home, being independent, building relationships is, I think, for a lot of people, that's the most important stepping stone of where college can be helpful. Yeah. It's like, because I was grown coming from New York City. I went to Boston, like this is a Fisher Price city. Get out of here. This is nothing. But for a lot of people, that's you learn how to be an adult.
You do.
I
The
think
partying back then, though.
I think college should be free.
I agree.
But see, I was gonna say, like,
That
people
part.
who are watching this that are probably thinking about going to school, like, I wish I would have known back in 2004 when I was preparing to go to school. Like, there are so many resources out there for people. Like, if you just feel like you want to go to college and get that experience, because the experience is dope, but go find the money to pay for it.
Yeah.
Go find the money to pay for it.
Yes, because it's like my first year going into undergrad, like, I had to pay all this money, but then I started making friends with people in the scholarship office. And they would call me and say, hey, UNCF is looking to give a scholarship to somebody from Macon, Georgia. Come get this check. So, like, Start learning where the money is.
Please
Find the bag.
Yes, so you won't come out of school with trying to get biting to write off your damn loans.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So go or don't go.
It's up to you. Here's the thing.
The choice is yours.
My younger siblings, I'm like, no, go. Like I have a sister that's 10 years under me, and she's incredible in school. She freaking even aced college. I'm like, what? You're a freak of nature. Like I could never, right? And so I'm like, please stay in school. If you're good in school, to me, stay in it, kill it, just get it over with. By the time you're 30, you got everything you kind of need if you need it. But the money stuff is a problem. So I agree with you on that. But she was like, I got my bachelor's. Then she looked at me and was like, you didn't. You pulling up at mommy house with what you want me to go back to school? So you want me to go back to school and you didn't and you ain't even hit this batch. I already gave y'all the batch. I'm not going back. I'm like, all right, well, what your business is.
Yeah.
You know?
To each his own. Everyone is a... Yeah.
But I do believe in higher education. Oh, my God.
I believe in it, but I agree with Chuck. Education, college should be free.
Should be free.
We got work to do.
We sound crazy. Esther Roll
Award.
I can feel him moving, moving, moving. I can feel him moving, 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 moving on the altar of my heart. Every now and then.
You gotta sway that thing to the left and the right.
The Lord is my shepherd.
It's about that time. That's the Roll Black Excellence Award. We actually have a Herby winner in the building, Wardell Malloy.
We do.
Brace up for this person.
Herby winner.
Wait, hold on. If y'all can't see him, it was the slow legend hand raise. He was like
really? We need
Sidney
some B-roll.
Poitier.
Get that cut that in.
He was like, it is I.
It is. Yes. Yeah.
Nah, but this is important because what we like to do at some point in the episode is talk about people and nominate a winner, just people who don't get the flowers they deserve for their contribution to Black culture. And it can be anyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, doing things. We've talked about a lot of people, of course, of which you are one. But you can't have a platform like this and not celebrate people who deserve love, especially in our community. So the Herby Esther Roll Black Excellence Award. It's time for our committee of which you are now a part.
I love this. I love a committee.
I love a committee to nominate. We all get to nominate someone, then we'll vote. And we'll decide who gets some awards and flowers this week here at We Sound Crazy.
Who's going first?
Opening the floor.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I want to put Lou Gossett Jr. on the table.
Lou Gossett Jr., just so I can know.
So we recently lost him. He recently passed away. He was
famous actor.
Famous actor. He was one of the first Black people to win an Academy Award. In Roots. I mean, his last appearance was in the Color Purple movie that came out late last year. But I just felt like when he passed away, we just kind of fell on the radar. We really didn't celebrate him, so I just kind of wanted to put him on the table this week. Yeah.
Who you got, Phil?
I know we talked about Black Enterprise quite a few times in the episode. Earl G. Graves Sr., the founder of Black Enterprise.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate him as my nomination this week.
Who you got, Claude?
Nah, skip me because I was actually going to say Black Enterprise, and I got to think again. So
I mean, you can second my motion if you want. You want to?
But he has to still have to vote.
Yeah.
The committee.
So come back to me. Come back. To me.
No, I wanna nominate Touré Roberts because he's been so influential in a lot of people that was trying to find their way in entertainment. He's been He's kind of been like a spiritual guide, and so I want to nominate.
I agree with that. Because I met Touré at a time when I was living in LA, and I needed that.
That.
Yeah.
I think we all landed in one church when we
I didn't see
needed
you
it.
there, Chuck. Don't remember seeing you
Didn't
there.
see you.
Yeah.
I was there.
I actually did, but I just feel like because you said you didn't see me.
I can name her. Bridget Kelly would be there.
Bridget Kelly
Megan
came because
Good
of me.
Really?
So
I would see them all.
All of those actually started coming because of me. The LaToya Luckins and all that.
All of
Yeah, well, that
I
was
think
me sitting
LaToya
next
is
to them.
who invited me the
I'm
first
sure
time.
I
Yeah.
invited her. Okay.
You see how the
It was
goodness
me with
spreads.
the sweatsuit on at the altar. You didn't see me because my face was down worshiping.
You see how the goodness spreads.
Yeah, man.
I think I want to. I happened to be doing a little bit of conversation with her about music, and I want to nominate Sylvia Rhone.
Sylvia, yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about Black women who are leaders in business, and are multi-hyphenated and influential to culture, and it's just crazy that there still are not more.
Yeah.
But she's been holding it down for a long time and doing well.
Yeah.
Doing well.
And she looks great.
And she looks amazing.
And she's a gangster. I love
She's
Sylvia.
a gangster.
A good gangster, though.
She's a good gangster. Who you got?
All gangsters are good. Do you guys know Barku?
Yeah.
Barku. I want to do Barku.
Wow.
Yeah. Barku and I had dinner recently, and she's one of those ones, much like Amona too, is they're gonna have a moment with you as a Black woman, and it's gonna mean something. And she had this conversation with me that was just like, she's like, look, it's gonna always be difficult for you, but that's okay, And it's like, oh, I wish someone would have told me that 20 years ago, because it's true, because it looks like this, but for me, everything comes at a price or hard, or and her looking at me in my eyes and telling me, but that's okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So Barku for me.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
So just to recap, we got Earl G. Graves, Lou Gossett Jr., Pastor Touré Roberts, Sylvia Rhone, and Barku.
This is not easy.
No. These are good.
So we can vote as many times,
you want this
and then
first
if we
time.
hit a tie, we'll do the tiebreaker, but you can vote as many times as you like.
We got to vote one of those?
No, you can vote as many times as first. You can raise your hand.
So majority rules, though. We get
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll kick it off. Earl G. Graves, founder of Black Enterprise. 4 out of 5. Simone's a hater. Lou Gossett Jr.
Let me. Sorry.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Okay.
Pastor Touré Roberts.
4. That's okay. Are you looking
for
Come on, like fuck your pastor.
That's exactly what was said.
You have to deal with the Lord by yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
With that Death Row t-shirt on.
Yes.
Right.
Sylvia Rhone.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's 5 out of 5.
I mean, I did it.
Barku.
Yeah, she's super cool.
Look.
I will.
It's me.
So we got 2 5 out of 5.
We got Sylvia and Barku.
I like that.
So this
the
go
women.
round.
I like it.
So this round we can only vote once.
Okay.
Tiebreaker. Sylvia is a friend and she watches the show, so no pressure. Sylvia Rhone. Majority rules. Sylvia Rhone is our winner this week of the Esther Roll Black Excellence Award. Congratulations, Sylvia.
Can I say something?
love you.
Thank you.
This conversation has been so refreshing. Can I ask a favor of you?
Of course.
I would love for you to suggest, recommend, and hook us up with people like Baku to come on the podcast.
Oh my God,
and
Barku
talk.
would be so good.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm
that's the
gonna
part
say
that we
Barku,
need to
sure.
like.
Yeah.
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
No, done.
And then we'll give her flowers in person.
Yes.
Sorry, but here you go.
And honestly, I mean, Wardell has to be next. It's like really ridiculous.
Wardell, come on.
No,
It's ridiculous.
No, we're waiting on Wardell. Wardell just gave us a verbal confirmation
And
days
verbal
ago.
is so funny with him
verbal.
because it's time.
Just so you know, there's no one that's been more difficult to get on the podcast.
Honey, I know.
Than Wardell.
I'm married to this man, and he's terrible.
We've had
So
icons,
difficult.
legends, and
The whole
business
thing.
moguls, and we're still like Wardell.
And we're still please.
Giving
him an award. The whole
The
now
whole
we don't.
thing.
We don't. So, but I got a verbal.
I'm gonna push. I'm gonna
and
get
a
that,
location.
I'm gonna
You see
get
what I'm saying?
that confirmed. It's time.
Very difficult.
It's time.
Very Hollywood
It's
over
just
here.
time.
It's time.
Come on, Wardy.
But you we need you back.
Oh, don't threaten me with nobody's good time.
Because we just scratched the surface here.
Okay.
There's so much to talk
So much to talk about because again, what you're doing and what you will continue to do is just going to inspire so many. So we just want to continue to shed light and just thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking time.
I'm inspired.
Yeah, for real.
Lily, I learned a lot just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. You
It
said some
does.
things here that I'm like, okay, mental note.
Same.
Take a vacation.
Take
so
it.
it's gonna be
For
hard
me,
for
it's
you.
really like, hey guys, what about this AI thing?
Yeah, but it's
right.
This is how we need these conversations.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to give you a second to think while we thank our sponsors, but
Okay.
our special guest gets to choose, and it can be any song in your mental library that you feel like best closes out this conversation. Think about it.
Okay.
Make sure you follow us on all platforms at We Sound Crazy and WeSoundCrazy.com.
And shout out to our partners at Visit Music City. Thank you so much for holding us down and supporting us.
Yeah, and make sure that you're in those comments letting us know who you want to see, what
Yeah.
you love, what you hate, all of those things.
Just don't get crazy.
Don't get crazy.
Please.
We sound crazy, but don't get too crazy because we get crazy back.
Yeah.
But saving the best for last.
The song.
A song.
So one of my favorite rap songs ever of this generation, I think it's a perfect record from top to bottom,
Okay.
is Future March Madness.
I do love that song.
Okay.
It's a great
It is a perfect song.
That's the energy.
I love the
want
balance.
to
Like,
be. You see where I'm going?
Gospel and gangster.
Jeezy, that's what I'm
Love
saying.
it.
Jesus and Jay-Z.
Hey, that's it. And Jeezy.
Jay-Z, Jeezy.
That's it.
I love it. Special thanks to our special guest this week, Miss Diddy. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We Sound Crazy. We out of here, y'all. Next week.
Dirty soda and styrofoam. Spend a day to get my mind blown. Dress it up and go to Nassau. 200 miles on the